In this video, we look at the role of the overview worksheet in the Sustainability ROI Workbook and how to fill in a couple of its fields. So here's the worksheet. It's organized around the same big three justifications that we've talked about before. The first one being do the right thing, and how if you do the right thing with this project, you can capture opportunities and you can mitigate risks. So those are the justifications that we talked about before. This worksheet performs 4 roles in the workbook. The first one is that it captures information that you can then transcribe into whatever capital expenditure request form is used by your company when you take your project forward for approval. So it's a summary of the business case. Its second function is that it's a table of contents for the other worksheets. So if we scroll down here and take a look at the Capture Opportunities section, you'll notice that there is a line for revenue. And revenue is going to be filled in these shaded boxes. You don't fill these in because they're shaded. You only fill in white boxes. But if you click on those, you'll see that the information in that particular cell is coming from another worksheet. And that worksheet is the revenue worksheet. So what happens is as you fill in these worksheets across the bottom, the information from those worksheets is automatically transcribed or copied by Excel into this summary worksheet. So the revenue line is going to be filled in as you fill in the revenue worksheet. The expenses are going to be filled in as you do the expenses worksheet. The asset values and market value changes are going to be filled in as you do this one. Capital expenditures, this one. The return on investment, same one. Risk analysis is going to cover these two. So as you fill in these worksheets, these lines are going to be completed automatically so you can see your progress, which is actually the third role of this worksheet. It's kind of a progress report as to how much of the business case you've done and how much is still to go. It's kind of the home base for the workbook. And the fourth function is that it provides some good talking points for your elevator speech about the so what of the project and the information that can be used in an executive summary or project proposal for the project. Some of that information is going to be numerical. Some of it may be more words, such as the description, purpose fulfillment, or how the project helps the company fulfill its purpose, and how it helps it makes progress on its sustainability goals or its ESG goals. So let's come back to those fields and show how to fill those in. So let's start with the project description. As with all of these help videos, let's assume that you're proposing a retrofit for your company's headquarters building to make it a LEED Gold green building so that you can reduce the company's greenhouse gas footprint, save some energy expenses, transition to renewable energy, etc. The instructions for filling in the field are in the box. And as you can see, you transcribe the scope of the project and its need and value from a business perspective, and you simply replace the instructions with that information. It's a free-form text box. If a normal retrofit has already been planned and cost justified, then you just need to create the business case for the additional cost of attaining a green building standard like LEED Gold for existing buildings. So if the scope of your project is different from the original project, then you really want to make sure that you frame it in a way that you can size the benefits that you require in order to offset whatever additional costs are required. So you need to be kind of clear on the scope of what it is that you're actually doing. So for this project, the completed box might look something like this. Now let's scroll down and describe how your initiative will help the company fulfill its purpose, not the project's purpose, but the company's purpose. So the company purpose fulfillment is, or the project purpose fulfillment, is a box that is again a free-form text box. The instructions are there. And usually the company's purpose, its mission, its vision, its principles are found in company documents, company reports, websites, etc. So you just need to do a little bit of research to determine what they are. And note that the labels for these things may be slightly different from purpose or values, but their intent is usually the same, and that is to state what the company stands for and what its mission is. So fulfilling a company's purpose may be a powerful factor for some decision makers and, more importantly, for some stakeholders. The more the company walks its talk on its purpose, the more its stakeholders, its customers, its employees, its investors will trust the company. And showing how the project helps the company fulfill its purpose reinforces how the project will help improve the company's reputation, brand value, social license to operate, etc. with its stakeholders. So it's important enough to be weighted as a decision-making factor. It matters. So your completed purpose fulfillment field might look like this for your greenhouse gas green retrofit, your headquarters green retrofit project. You can consider this field as a draft that is a good conversation starter with other managers and executives when you seek their approval on your project. They may see alignments with other important things that you should add to punch up this important justification. So it's a really good way to get in touch with what others feel is important about the company as well. Now let's move down and take a look at the Progress on ESG Goals section, which is the third section that you need to fill in on this worksheet. It's white, so that means you have to fill it in. So the instructions on this are pretty straightforward. It acknowledges that there are different ways that companies assess how they are doing on sustainability goals, which are also called environmental, social, and governance goals, ESG goals. So there are different frameworks. The Global Reporting Initiative may be one of the ones that they use. Progress against the Sustainable Development Goals, or how the company is contributing to those, maybe others. The Future Fit Business Benchmark, Integrated Reporting Capitals. So there are lots of frameworks out there that are in use by companies as they assess how they are making progress on things that matter on the sustainability front. Usually they're categorized into environmental and social areas. And whatever it is that this project is helping the company accomplish towards those goals is something that you write into these sections. This is information that you get from other worksheets or indicators or assessments, and you simply transcribe it in here. So rather than being prescriptive as to which of those frameworks you use, this gives you an opportunity to tap into whatever frameworks are normally used by the company and simply show how this project is helping the company work towards where they want to be on goals that they have set for themselves on either environmental or social issues. So this is what those two fields might look like after you have filled them in from your other assessment worksheets or however you do that. So that's it for this worksheet. These are the fields, they're white fields that you needed to fill in. The other fields are going to be, as we said before, automatically filled in as you go through the worksheets associated with each of these topics. So it's time to move on and take a look at those worksheets. So this has been a quick overview of the roles of the overview worksheet and how to fill in these three fields on it. Next, we'll be taking a look at how to complete the revenue worksheet.